At this point, we've all heard about it.
Print on demand.
Print on demand.
Print on demand.
Do print on demand.
Print on demand. Print on demand business.
Print on demand.
Print on demand.
Print on demand. Print on demand store. $10,000 in sales.
$10,000 or more per month.
$4,000 in less than 6 months.
$1.4 million.
Passive income every month selling products that don't even exist.
Print on demand is the business model that took me from being a completely broke teenager to making over $1 million by the time I was 23 and bringing home multiple 6 figures in profit each year. Now that I'm 25, I can tell you that the journey has not been easy, but there's a lot that I've learned over the last 6 years that can help you if you're looking to start your own online business. So today I want to give you my 7 best tips that helped me go from literally zero to financially free by 23. And if you're wondering why I would share these secrets after I've grown such a successful business, when you choose to use my affiliate links, like my Printify link, for example, they pay me a small percentage of their profit for each sale that you make. So even though there's no extra cost to you, the more sales I'm able to help you make, the more money I make in the long run, which is why I share this stuff with you. So if I'm able to make some more money and help you reach your goal in the process, it's a win-win in my opinion. But without further ado, let's just get right into tip number 1, which I wish I knew before I got started, and that's how to build durable revenue. In the beginning, I could have saved weeks of pain if I knew what would actually get me more sales. I was trying to bank all of my success on one idea and one winning product. But the beauty with print on demand is that each product you list for sale is a digital asset that can go out and make you sales over time. In hindsight, I was super anxious to make sales early on, which is totally understandable because that's the only reason you start a business in the first place. But after doing this business for over 6 years, having durable, recurring revenue that keeps coming in without me having to work, that's the beauty and what makes this business so passive. The first few products you list might not sell right away, and that can be really frustrating, but you have to remember that you're building up a catalog of assets. The shops that actually make it and do really well don't bank their entire success on one product. They build up a catalog of products. This is a super handy tool which lets us sort new shops by total sales, and this just gives us a really good idea of what's working right now. And as you can see, it's not always the case, but typically the shops that have more items posted for sale tends to get more sales and make more money overall. If you want to stack the odds in your favor, posting more listings gives you more chances of getting sales. And to me, it makes total sense because someone who has 300 listings has a 10 times higher chance of making sales than someone who only has 30 listings. Durable revenue is built by having a larger catalog of products that all sell occasionally and not by banking all of your success on one item. It's not about striking gold with some one-off trend. It's about growing actual passive income. Now, to actually do that, you have to know what's selling so that you're making your products in profitable niches. Getting ideas for products that you can sell today and that will continue to sell into the future is something that most beginners get caught up on. With unlimited options, how are you supposed to know where to start? You can answer this question pretty easily if you know how to do market research, which is literally just finding out what products people are buying. You can do this really easily by opening up an incognito window and then going to the website that you're going to choose to list your products for sale on. So in this case, we're going to search on Etsy. All you have to do to start is look at what products have any kind of badge. For example, this Popular Now badge tells you that an item is popular. You can also look for other types of badges like this bestseller badge. In this case, I'm on Etsy and they're literally telling us exactly which products are performing well right now. It doesn't matter what product you're selling. All you're doing is looking for where the market interest is. For example, this listing, when I click on it, you can see that it's in demand. 95 people have bought it in the last 24 hours. Market research is all about finding products that are selling and then trying to identify which niche those products are in. This method definitely works. It's just a little bit more tedious and you don't get an exact idea of how well any one of these products is actually performing. So the other option is to use a market research tool. Listing View, for example, has a massive database of 12 million listings and they're all analyzed and sortable. So this gives you a few ways to find your next best-selling idea based on what's already working. Out of all of these listings, you can see what's made the most total sales, or we could switch to view what's making the most monthly revenue right now. This is where you can actually start to get ideas, because now you can see, for example, this sweatshirt, it's making around 1,500 sales per month. Now, these badges on the right also show you the outlier score, which is how well that listing is performing relative to the average listing for the shop it's posted in. So the lower scores mean that other listings in the shop could also be performing really well, whereas these red badges means it's probably one of the best listings in that shop. So 106x means this listing is performing 106 times better than the average listing for the shop it's posted in. You can always click through to get a more detailed breakdown of that listing, but we can do the same thing at the shop level as well. So we can see the absolute top performing shops on all of Etsy, but maybe we want to look at some newer shops that are doing well right now. Now I'm only looking at shops that are 180 days old. So if I want to see what sweatshirts are working right now, then I can make a search in the database. So these are the top sweatshirts based on monthly revenue. I can also do total sales, or I could look at monthly sales or total revenue, or pretty much any metric that you can possibly think of. For example, if we look at top monthly revenue, we can start to get some ideas for the exact type of products and the niches that they're in, so that when we go make products, we can make them in niches that are currently selling really well. When you're able to sort products like this and see what's currently selling, it lets you get ideas and then make your products for niches that are already working right now. Obviously, I'm a little biased here because I make money when you choose to use tools like this and the other ones I promote, but it saves you a ton of time and it works. And to make things a little easier, if you want a free list of over 100 niche ideas to just help you get started, you can find this one right below the subscribe button. You can take these ideas and expand upon them and then search them up in listing view or right on Etsy to see what's working, and you'll have your next design idea and basically never run out again. Now, building up this catalog of many assets that go out and make you passive income over time is a great feeling until you get a copyright strike. There's nothing like gaining momentum and finally starting to see sales flood in, all to be given a mini panic attack from a trademark strike on your shop. It's scary because only a couple of strikes can get your shop shut down, and Etsy's notorious for even shutting down big established shops that have made thousands of sales. But luckily for you, you found my YouTube channel, and now I'm gonna save your business from getting shut down. There's 3 quick ways to ensure that the products you post for sale don't infringe on anyone's copyright. Number 1 is the good old-fashioned simple brand check. If you recognize a brand, a movie character, TV show, song lyrics, quotes, you shouldn't sell it. And yes, that absolutely includes Mickey Mouse and Disney, anime, and so on. Number 2 is you can do a reverse image search. So when you find an idea or a niche that you want to investigate a little further, all you need to do is take a screenshot of that design or that idea. And you can use a tool like Google's reverse image search or a website like TinEye. It's completely free. You just upload your screenshot or paste it in, and it will search the internet for results that match it. This helps you spot if the image or graphic appears anywhere else online, which can help you narrow in if that particular graphic is protected by copyright. Number 3 is you can just make sure that you're always using commercial-ready graphics in your designs. Platforms like Envato Elements, Factizi, Creative Market, they all provide resources that are made for people like us to use in our designs. Always make sure to read through the terms of service to make sure that you're using the graphics properly in your shop. You usually can't just slap an entire graphic on a product and call it good. It has to be a part of the design. But if you follow any of my tutorials, you'll know that I also teach how to use Midjourney and ChatGPT to make designs. And unless you give it specific instructions to copy a trademarked element, you get to use all of the graphics you make commercially. As a bonus, you can always ask ChatGPT what it thinks, and it usually does a pretty good job of steering you in the right direction. This is also pretty cool because not only will it tell you what you can and can't use with pretty good accuracy, but it'll also help you brainstorm some other ideas and help you think outside the box. But when in doubt, just always check the US trademark system. When you make a search for something, it's going to show you clear as day if there's a registered trademark for it. So obviously, selling anything Disney related is completely out of the question. So if you wanted to sell a scrolling is my cardio shirt, we can make a search for that, and you can see that there's a lot of other dead trademarks here, even things like Pareo is my cardio, but nothing about scrolling is my cardio, so we should be good. To be extra safe, you could always make a more specific search like is my cardio to see what other types of trademarks there are. You can see there's a few like shopping is my cardio, bronzing is my cardio, but scrolling is my cardio is good. Now, probably the biggest challenge with print on demand and the question that plagues the most beginners, and probably the biggest sticking point for most people as well, is how good do my designs have to be? Now, I could show you how bad my first designs were, or I could show you the terrible first products that I ever sold. But instead, I think that the best way for you to grasp this is to see what's currently and still working. Simple designs sell best. All of these sweatshirts are making thousands of dollars a month. And if we zoom in to take a closer look at any one of them, you can see that typically the simplest designs sell the best. All you really need to be able to do is package a design into a listing that looks nice. It's no longer about how good you are at actually making the design. It's about how good you are at doing research and then leveraging the tools that you have at your disposal, like ChatGPT, to go make the design for you. Chat alone is pretty much capable of making similar designs to what's already working as long as you know how to write a good prompt, which, trust me, is much easier than actually making the design yourself. If you have Canva, which is $13 a month, you have access to almost every single best-selling font, which means you can create best-selling text designs right inside. Your designs definitely do have to be good, don't get me wrong. But even designs that are maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 10, you can easily bring it up to an 8 out of 10 with good packaging. The mockup is just as important as the design. For your business, you're probably going to use Printify since they're really the best print-on-demand supplier. And you're going to make a lot more money when you use them because on average, each order might save you an extra $1 or $2. And over time, that really adds up. Compared to more expensive print-on-demand companies, Printify gives you the absolute best deal, which makes you the most amount of money long term. But what you'll notice is that for their product mockups, although they're super accurate to how the final product is going to look, it doesn't exactly bring the product to life how you'd really want it to. The packaging can either make your product look like a generic gift shop souvenir item or a handcrafted boutique product. My motto, especially now with all the tools we have, is that you definitely don't have to be a professional designer, but you have to treat the business like a professional would. One of the most common beliefs, and the reason that a lot of people quit print on demand as soon as it gets even a little bit hard, is that they just blame the market on being oversaturated. I pulled this piece of ChatGPT Deep Research, which analyzed the top 17 sources, and it showed me that on average, there's about 57 to 58 million t-shirts sold per day across the globe. And that adds up to 23 billion t-shirts sold each year. That number is so large, it's hard to even comprehend. Let's say 90% of t-shirts sold are just blank t-shirts like the one I'm wearing. They have no graphic. It's probably less than that, but just to be safe. That still means there's 5.8 million graphic t-shirts sold every single day. Obviously, those aren't all print-on-demand t-shirts. I mean, some sell in stores, a lot are international, but the market is still growing. And considering that it's only one type of product out of dozens of print-on-demand products that you could sell, I still think there's a ton of untapped opportunity. Now, I beat to absolute death that Etsy is the best platform for beginners to start on, but people still tell me that it's oversaturated or that print on demand is dead. And I think that if I was just starting out, changing the question a little bit would really help me. If you're not getting sales, first ask yourself the question of whether or not your product is even good. You can ask your most honest friend or family member, but you want to get honest feedback. You want to know if your product is actually good. You can even ask ChatGPT if you aren't totally sure. If it's bad, you just need to move on and make something else. If your product is good, then you can decide to market it with either free or paid traffic. Let's say you want to start with free organic traffic. So you optimize the SEO in your listings and post them for sale on Etsy. Now, it'll take around 2 weeks for those listings to get indexed before they can really show up in search. And then they'll start showing up organically in searches while Etsy tests to see if customers are interested. Now, if your products don't get any sales, the typical thought and response is that Etsy is oversaturated, when in reality, it's probably that your product isn't quite as good as you thought it was. Now, maybe you try paid advertising. So you list the same product for sale on Shopify and turn on some paid ads. But then you might realize that if the product didn't sell for free on Etsy, it probably won't sell with paid traffic on Shopify either. Etsy is just a spot online where you can list products for sale like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, or any other platform. And they also happen to drive millions of shoppers to their site every day. I personally think that selling products online isn't dead at all, but selling bad quality products is. The platform that you choose to list your products for sale on only dictates how much free traffic your products can get. Posting good, high quality products with great designs for sale is what ultimately makes you money. And if those products get sales with free organic traffic, they'll make a lot more money when you finally turn on the ads. Etsy for sure is not perfect, and they have tons of issues just like every other platform, but their costs are much lower than Shopify and Amazon. They have a Printify approved integration. The sales data is all public, so you can use tools like Listing View to see what's trending and what's working right now. And if the platform itself were oversaturated, which it's not, but if it was, it would still just be a place online where you can post products for sale. If they don't sell on Etsy, why would they sell anywhere else? Now, if you're watching this video, hopefully you remember when I said that having durable revenue comes from having a larger catalog of products. Well, the way that you actually achieve that larger catalog of products is by following an upload schedule. If you're trying to lose weight or put on muscle, then eating right for one day or even a week isn't going to get you to your goal. Working out for 20 hours once a week is just not the method. It's much more effective to be consistent every day over time, and business is the exact same way. I think I've showed this before, but this is the first year where one of my shops absolutely took off, and I did over $300,000 in revenue, which is sort of a sticky level. And as a total side note, I think that this number actually doesn't include any shipping or anything else. So this is actually only 60 to 70% of what I made this year. But that's not the point. The point was, in growing this shop, the first month I posted only 29 listings for sale. So I posted one listing per day, and my results weren't that great. The next month I didn't post any listings. Then I posted 14, 25, 250, and that's where things really started to change for me. Once I implemented systems and I really focused on building out a catalog of assets that would continue to make me passive income, you can see that the income absolutely exploded throughout the rest of this year. And yes, I was posting a lot of listings and my systems helped me do that, but you can see that the most pivotal moment in this entire chart and in my business in general is when I posted 1,500 new listings in a single month. Now that sounds totally insane and unreasonable, and it probably is for most people. But this method that I figured out and followed absolutely works, of growing a large catalog of products, and you can replicate it even if you use a slightly less aggressive approach. And now with these automation and research tools that I've been sharing with you, I could list 50 products in the time it used to take me to do 5. It's just about consistency and growing a large product catalog, and that's ultimately what allowed me to do this completely organic. I maybe turned on ads for a minute, but only 243 views. I didn't make any sales from ads this year. And I'm showing you this because this was my breakthrough year, where it all really came together for me. You can make this a lot more attainable by sort of batching your products and posting multiple listings for each niche that you're targeting. The cool thing about this business is you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. Product research shows you which niches products are selling in. And the beauty about this is you can go make multiple designs for each one of those niches. So instead of just making one quality design, you can literally double your chances of getting sales by making 2. My first shop, I was selling face masks back in 2020, and I learned that if something worked, like putting a meme on a face mask, I shouldn't just do it once, but I should do it multiple times. That business made me a good amount of money and then completely died when people stopped buying face masks. So I had to pivot into selling mugs and t-shirts, but the principle's the same. My personal rule is as soon as I find a trending niche, to make 5 to 10 designs for that niche so that I have 5 to 10 times the chances of getting sales. Next thing I wish I knew before starting print on demand was how powerful custom products are. Since you're literally just selling a design that goes on a product, you can offer fully custom or partly custom products to your customers. A fully custom product is going to be something where the customer tells you exactly what they want the entire design to be. But you can also sell partly custom products where the customer is only changing out one part of the graphic, like their name. When you search for any type of product on Listing View, what you'll tend to see is that custom products typically sell better than pre-made products, at least over time. There's always going to be trending products that are making more monthly revenue today, but over time, custom products can do better. They can get more sales, but they're also slightly more advanced to sell. What's cool about this is if you choose to run your business with Printify, which you absolutely should, but you can still automate this type of template custom product using a tool like Hello Custom. My friend Steven, who I met at Printify's event in Latvia when I went last year, is the founder of Hello Custom, and it allows you to automate the selling of custom products just like this. It lets you keep the business as passive as it was before while allowing you to sell custom template products. It's pretty cool, and if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link to his offer right below the subscribe button. And either way, if you're looking to make more sales, custom products can be a great addition to your shop. But that brings us to the next lesson, which is probably the most important lesson if you take anything out of this video. And that's that it's so much easier to succeed when you follow just one strategy. I get a lot of DMs and emails asking how my strategies can be right when other YouTubers or blogs online recommend something completely different. Honestly, I think that one of the reasons print on demand feels harder now than when I got started is because there's so many different methods out there. If I'm being honest with you, my method didn't even come from watching YouTube videos. It came from studying what successful shops were doing and then replicating it in my own way. My absolute best piece of advice is just try to stick to one strategy until it works. My honest opinion is that when it comes down to it, all of these strategies, all the platforms you can sell on, it's all just selling products online. So picking one strategy and just sticking to it until it works helps you avoid the biggest beginner mistake of analysis paralysis. I've got a Discord community, which is completely free to join, and I'd recommend doing so if you wanna see how other complete beginners are getting started with this business and seeing actual money and actual results hitting their bank account every single day. It's pretty cool to see, and it's also fun just to be a part of a community where everyone's sort of in the same boat. I've got a lot of other helpful videos on my channel. I'd appreciate if you subscribed, and as always,